Take a look in my game face. Ain't no stopping me. You know I'm coming in first place. Well, stop it till I get that ring. I'ma dominate all day. No matter who you bring, I will not lose. Yeah. I will not lose. I will not lose.
Yo, what up? It's your boy, JJ Stone, aka Black Gritty. Welcome to another episode of Gritty Nights. And let me tell you something. The Phillies are great. They're going to be fine. We're just trying to get past the All-Star game. We're not going to talk about that much tonight. You know what it is. It is what it is. The Flyers are making moves. I don't know if they got a direct line to Putin or what, but it seems like a lot of releases are coming out of Russia, and we can appreciate that because nobody else thought that they could get these guys. Like when you think about, oh, well, could he be that good? Is he that great? He went seventh. Well, he went seventh because they thought they were going to stay in Russia for 3 years. And so they made that leap. And guess what? Like I said, they got that Putin speed dial button going, and I don't know if the bat phone's working, but it seems like dudes are coming over early. So there is a lot of hope in Flyer Nation, but we're not going to really talk about that at all today either. And the Philadelphia Eagles, or we might touch on Jalen Hurts just a little bit, but nobody cares about that. We're going to talk tonight about the Philadelphia 76ers and the rest of the NBA for most of the night. If you got a problem with that, shut the LL Cool J up and just hang out for a little bit anyway, because it is what it is. So tonight, I'm going to bring this guy back on. Oh, now you want to go back up, Barry?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you trying to talking about this. Shut up. Get on here. Jason.
Hey, I wanted to announce I re-signed with the show, by the way.
Okay, buddy. Yeah.
Lucrative deal. Thank you. I appreciate
it. There it is. So,
oh, man.
We are going to talk about the Sixers. And before we talk about the Sixers at all, I just need confirmation and head nodding from you guys. So I am generally negative about the 76ers. I've also been right for the last decade about the 76ers. I was hyped for Ben Simmons. I had BenSimmonsVision.com, BenVision.com. I had the Twitter hit. I was all ready to go. I had hopes. I had dreams. I believed in the process. I didn't believe in Brett Clown. I didn't believe in the Clans of Clowns. I didn't believe in Elton Brand. I saw a lot of things. I didn't like Fultz pick. You know why? Not because I didn't know the Fultz was going to fall apart. I had no clue. I just know that Danny Ainge is the devil. And anytime you do a deal with the devil, I'm getting the short end of the stick. That's all that I knew. But time after time, for the last 10 years, can you two confirm when I was having to go to Twitter to check that in general, I have been right? Even when I try to be positive and I've been wrong, I've accepted I've been wrong. But in general, everything I've come to bear, it pans out, right?
Yes.
Sadly. Right? Sadly.
Yes.
Now,
it's been a miserable few years, obviously.
and we've had fights between
yes.
You guys are positive and hold on to it a little bit longer than I do, where I'm like, I can't do it. Like I'm a people person. I just go with my eyes and I can't. I've also been hurt a lot. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But at the same time, I get why people are excited. I'm going to let Harry go. We're going to talk about the joy and the happiness and the hope. I don't have it, but I know why people have it. And I fully understand. So Harry, the dude that almost lost his spot on this show because he and left me and Jason in the lurch. We out here fighting it for our lives.
Oh my God!
Enjoying his summer breeze. Harry feels fine. Get your ass back. But you show up on happy week, happy day. You know what I mean? Oh, we done got some draft picks. We out here TikToking. You know what I mean?
The Sixers, they send the bad signal basically for me.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden Harry wants to get up in here. Oh yeah, that Eskin talk. Okay, I see the comments. I'm not. You know what I mean? Before we get to the spicy talk,
that's for later in the night.
Oh, I mean, we might not have to do it too late tonight. You know what I mean? So, I ain't trying to get no harassment charges.
Exactly.
I need the light of day. I need
yes. I need witnesses. I need witnesses.
Look, it is what it is. Oh, speaking of harassment, Kate, I sent Jason home with a bowl of my spaghetti and meatballs. Did you eat that spaghetti and meatballs, Jason?
Shit, no, I did not eat it. I know I'm fat, but I did not eat it.
Okay, so you ate it, Kate, and I ain't getting no text messages. I still leave my man for you nothing. I'm expecting a whole jam. Is that what it's like over there? I'm saying, look, hey, I'm just saying, as far as harassment goes, I was expecting to be harassed a little bit when I sent home a little bowl of love for you, okay?
Good
Jason,
to know.
Oh, wait, Jason's still here. My bad. So, the Sixers. Harry, let's get focused, Harry. Let's
lock in.
together. Tell me how you feel, Harry. How did Maury do? What are you doing, Harry? What's going on? Tell us.
I'm back, baby. I'm back in hopeful land. You know what I mean? I think I was in the mindset of like kind of interested in PG to start free agency, start the off season. Then I kind of got talked out of it. I feel like by everybody in the world, you know, basically talking about how he's way off P and playoff P who doesn't show up and stuff like that. But guess what? We only have the options we have. Okay, we only had the situation we could get. And I think as far as the players out there are concerned, as far as the players bringing back that we, you know, like Oubre, getting Drummond back, obviously is exciting. It's not just about getting PG. It's about like, it looks like we're actually trying to go all in, stack our roster. And it is what it is. Like we can't get everyone we want, but I think we're getting the best players available for our fit and for our team. So yeah, it's all about Joel and being healthy. But again, these guys know their roles. Maxey going to take another leap next year. PG, you know, he I don't necessarily believe the talk, but he said he woke up the bully or something. He says he hears the noise right on his podcast, and then he woke up the bully. I'll believe it when I see it. But again, he has been a great, you know, two-way player, so it fits well. And I want to win, man. I want to win. I don't want to be like, well, look at the team. We don't look good. These are the reasons why we're going to lose. There are reasons why we might win. And the main reason is Joel's health. And that being said, Drummond coming back to back him up, these other stars on the team, maybe he can just play less than the regular season and kind of hang in there towards the playoffs. So obviously we need to do everything we can to keep him healthy. But I mean, there's no reason not to be excited a little bit. I mean, maybe other than the past, like you're going to tell me, but I think that there's, you know, if you're a basketball fan, why not look at this as a positive?
Jason.
Hey, anytime you can sign the only option available to you and give him the maximum amount of money when he has no other options, you should definitely do that, by the way. So what does he mean I woke up the bully now? Like, he's 35 years old. What the hell has he been waiting for this whole time? Like, that's confusing to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, Drummond back, Gordon, like, we're definitely the favorites to win the 2020 championship. I will tell you that.
But Jason, are you happy with Maury's moves? He's made other moves too, Jason.
I mean, it's okay. He hasn't done anything. I was hoping when Maury came here, I was expecting some genius that unearthed all these hidden talents and all that. And all he's doing is paying the best guy. He doesn't do anything special. He doesn't find anyone. I was hoping to find some, you know, secret player on the free agent market that we could sign here. And everyone's a little confused why we got him. And he comes here and blossoms. And instead, we're just getting old players, you know, another former Rocket, even though it's a good deal. And then Paul George is, you know, he's Paul George. He's good.
So this for the viewer, this you got the greatest panel available to you. You got high school Harry with the pom-poms and rock and roll for you. You got apathetic Ferg in the middle. Jason's like, meh, we do or we don't. I'm here, okay? I got a drink in my hand. I showed up. Don't ask me to dance, bitch, but I'm here, okay? Right? You know what I mean? Like I said, you can get him going. You know what I'm saying? He's here. And then you got me over here. This is the same exact, and I made my video and I poked the bear. People got so upset because I'm like, Derek Coleman, Chris Webber.
That one hurt.
It hurt. Elton Brand, Al Horford, like all these old guys that were just going to come in and change the narrative. But the real gem is the Hall of Famer James Harden coming to the 76ers, being the key to, unlike Joel Embiid in the playoffs, to help be the third star. So when people come to me and say these dumb things, well, would you rather have Tobias Harris? You're a piece of shit, and that's not a real argument. Shut the fuck up. James Harden, on the other hand, is exactly what Paul George is. A perennial all-star, guaranteed Hall of Famer, shows up 3 or 4 games in the playoffs and then dies in 70% of the other games and has never reached the mountaintop of even being in the finals. They're literally the same guy. When James Harden came here, we went from a top 5-10 team to a top 3 team contending for a championship as far as Vegas was concerned. You get Paul George, we haven't filled out the roster yet. 76ers 3 and the contender. Okay. Perennial Hall of Fame. Okay. All I know is that he is way off P, and he does show up sometimes. But guess what? He also has the problem of having a podcast. There are 91 of you in here watching this shitty podcast, and I love you so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate every one of you that are listening, that downloaded, that take the time. I love you to death. But Paul George has got millions of people listening to his dumb ass, and what does he say? Well, you go out there, you try, you do your best, you pray, and you go do it. You know why? Because he's already made $500 million. He just made $200 million more. So with that kind of attitude, telling me you woke up the beast for what? I didn't get him from Indiana. I didn't get him when he went to OKC. I didn't even get him when he went to the Clippers. I'm getting him at the last stop on the train in the OK Corral. And he has never shown that he could do anything different than James Harden. So when people ask, well, what would you do? Well, that's also a moot point too. I'd rather have traded some assets away and got Ingram, who's 24 years old and has the same general stat line as Paul George, but doesn't have the history of failure. At least there's hope in that because you don't know what he's going to do. Because now I have Joel Embiid failing in the playoffs. He's rubbing that off on Maxey because Maxey's the only one that ever seems to fight and care and cry. And now I got Paul George who's like, well, you're trying our best and it's okay if we lose. I need a dog. Get Pat Beverly back in here. Get both the Morris twins back up in here. Get me somebody who will scream and yell and fight and care. I don't care that they suck. I just need more passion. I need more fire on this team. And last thing I'll say is Daryl Morey is a fucking loser. Of course anybody can sign the highest paid guy, and every other person he's brought here has been a fucking Rocket, and the Rockets never won anything. I kind of like Gordon. That's fine, but guess what? He's old and going to do a serviceable backup job, you hope. He's not washed. But even coach, Nick Nurse, the dude that I like, he was in the G League assistant coach for the Rockets. Pick up anybody to come and work for him that hasn't already previously worked for him. Because once the people that worked for him realized who he was, nobody else wanted to work with the guy. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. Clap your hands, everybody. 76ers are going to win the championship this year. Yes, clip it. Save it.
I mean, it's not about that. It's about I don't expect us to win the championship necessarily, but it's like we have a better team, and Joel has a better chance of being healthy now with the roster. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's the reason.
Let's do that next.
Yeah.
What are your expectations for the playoffs? What would make you happy?
It would make me happy if Joel goes into the playoffs healthy, because then I believe we can. And I'm saying that's conducive with having this extra star and these extra players in the regular season to get us there, and just be healthy to go in the playoffs. And I believe that we can make it to the conference championship at least. So I expect us to make it to the conference finals.
So Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. So assuming Joel's health for sure.
They should be a 3 or 4 seed, and they'll probably lose in the second round like they have forever and ever. So, just perennial in the second round loss.
I'm asking, what would make you happy? What would make you feel complete?
Oh, a parade.
Okay. Only a parade.
Yeah, that's why we've been doing all this for all this time.
Again, you do the whole step thing process, right? Okay, so for you, it's championship or bust. Okay.
I mean, I want to win too, but again, we have PG for 4 years, assuming that he's whatever he is this year. I don't expect a cliff drop off for any of these players at this stage.
I don't know what that is.
I mean, I'm just saying it's the NBA now. Modern sports in general, these guys play till they're 40 all the time. It doesn't matter if you're LeBron or if you're anybody. So I just think that these guys can, there's not going to be a cliff drop off of athleticism and stuff like that.
Have you taken up crack cocaine?
What are you talking about? How many 40-year-olds are playing tennis and all these sports that you could never make it past 26? I'm just saying it's a completely different era.
Any 40-year-olds playing NBA basketball?
I know, but he's not. 40's the hyperbolic whatever. The term I was, the anchor point. I'm not saying 40.
You can't say that though.
He's 35. He's 35. It's not 40. I'm just saying he has a few years.
So my thing is, if you get me to the finals, I'd be content. Give me a chance in the big dance, and I'm like, yo, at least we got here. You didn't quit on me. You didn't fail. You know what I mean? Anything happens in the finals. You know what I mean? Shoot, my GOAT went there 22 times. He only came out with 4. It happens. But I'm saying get there and give me that chance. I'll be happy. I'll be content with that because at least I had a shot to get the championship. That's where I'm at as far as joy is concerned. Then the next thing is the 76ers have a 2-year window. That's it. You got this year, you got next year with Paul George. I don't know what he's going to be like at 37, 38. I don't know what Joel Embiid's going to be like in 2 more years, in a 3rd season. Again, we're all conducing this on health. If Joel Embiid's healthy, I mean, he's King Kong. I'm putting him up against pretty much anybody.
Yeah, for real.
He's healthy, but he hasn't been.
Yeah.
So with that being said, this is a 2-year window of time that they've got to get there. So again, this year, get me to the finals, and then if you don't win it next year, get me back to the finals and win. That's your window. That's for me. Sorry, I'm not fucking God. That's my realistic window of how it can go down. I know sometimes we all talk like we're saying our definite points, but the internet is such crybabies today.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say anything. I was like, bitch, you say your opinion. You can have an opinion. It's fine. Telling me I'm wrong is fine. I have no problem being wrong.
Yeah.
I've been right for a decade. Do you think it makes me happy saying I'm right? I mean, it's fun to laugh at you, but it also makes me sad because I am a Sixers fan. I want to jump ship so bad, but I can't. Apparently, I like suffering. Jason brought it up too. We are horrible parents. We got our kids out here suffering. You know what I'm saying? Come out here.
I don't know, man. Come on now. Like, I love being a Sixers fan. I love being a fan of teams in this city. I mean, you don't have to, like, getting into sports fandom just to root for the team that's the champion is why we shit on every bandwagon kid that grows up being becoming a Yankees or Lakers fan. So I just feel like be happy to be a sports fan a little bit. That's part of it. It's not just winning.
It's not about just winning. It's about fucking hope, bro.
Yeah. Of course. And there's hope. There's now hope that we didn't have. A smidge more. I'll take it.
James Harden hope.
No, it's the James Harden. See, listen, that I understand what you mean about the comparison with Paul George, but it's like James Harden is an offensive, hold the ball. That's it. I'm just saying, Paul George is a 3-and-D guy. Like, it's completely different. Different fit. I'm completely different fit. I'm just saying James Harden's not going to hold the ball. I mean, Paul George is going to hold the ball and not give it to Embiid for a whole game 6 of that's not going to happen with Paul George.
I used to be able to dunk the ball in high school. I wasn't slamma jamma, but I could dunk the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I could. That's like me saying I could dunk. I could dunk. No, bitch. I used to be able to.
You said Paul George and James Harden are exactly the same. That's all I'm saying. They're not exactly the same.
Their name lives off of old prowess. I saw 42 different people posting Paul George highlights, and every single one of them was in yellow and black. I'm like, bitch, it might as well be in black and white.
He was nice in OKC. Come on now, that was MVPG.
I'm talking about the internet, bro.
I know.
Fans putting up highlight packages of Paul George dominating in yellow. So again, living off your old hype. 3-and-D, guess what? I saw him out there in the West getting smoked by the Ja Morants, the Luka Doncic, the slowest white man in America. I mean, he does cook everybody, but still, where's the D at?
Did you see
a couple of way off threes?
Where's the D? You see the Paul Pierce KG video where he's saying, Paul George is like the security guard. You know what I'm saying? He got the handcuffs. You know what I mean? Kawhi's like, get on the ground. Like, so again, that's what PG is. He's security guard. Come on now, that's okay.
He's a pat him down and go security.
Tobias is the guy that did just this, waves in the air. So I'm just saying, we're improved. It's not about him.
Yeah, don't say his fucking name.
It's about improving. We're improving.
Tobias Harris was 4th on that system with James Harden. He doesn't even equate to coming into the conversation. Right. He's not on the fucking team. We understand why he got paid, but telling me that Paul George is better than Tobias Harris doesn't do a fuck all for anybody.
He's gonna fit. He's gonna play the same role. He's gonna play defense and get rebounds and shoot threes. Like, he's gonna play a very similar role to what we wanted Tobias to do. Tobias didn't do it often, but I'm just saying, like, what we want that person to do: play defense on tough forwards, knock down wide open threes. Like, what else is there?
Can we also agree that while he was here, to be honestly fair to James Harden, because he was trying to get paid, he was playing defense. He was getting steals. He was following guys around. He was making full effort in the playoffs. When Joel Embiid went down and all hope was lost, who put up 2 45-plus point games? James Harden.
What about when Joel came back? What about when he came?
Go look at the stats and look at Paul George and what he's done. Guess what? Oh, they went to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. Yeah, but you know who the star that was? That guy, that kid Anderson, that rookie.
Paul George had some good games during those series.
No, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying
40-point games.
I'm not saying
right, yeah.
That's what I just said.
Right.
Just like James Harden, he showed up and had a couple of those games. But also Anderson was going off. Like, nobody knew what this kid was on, like steroids. He disappeared after that season because once Kawhi came back, it took his time away. But he was out there balling out, helping Paul George. And yes, like I said, Paul George is just like James Harden. He can give you the 40-plus game here and there. But then when the pressure gets on, this game 6 or 7, Paul George put up 9 points. Paul George is 1 for 15. And you're like, how is that humanly possible? I mean, apparently Tobias Harris can do it every night. But how is it possible for somebody like Paul George with the resume and the calendar that he has to do it too? Because he's just like James Harden. He's older. He's got spurts in him. And you hope that those spurts come at the time when you need them the most. But again, for me, it doesn't matter at all unless we keep Joel Embiid in bubble wrap and bring him out when the time is right. So
Drummond could be the biggest signing, having a legit backup.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Because Paul Reed is, obviously that was nothing.
Paul Reed's out. They got the dude I want to bone you, and they got. So harassment. I gotta watch what I'm saying. I gotta watch what I'm saying. They want to bone. Anywho, they got him. They got the boner. So they're going to be doing Paul George is a legitimate 3.
That's better than Harden in terms of spot up.
Jason, pull up the stats. Pull up
Harden is not he's a volume 3-point shooter. Paul George has been a better 3-point shooter his whole career. Pull up the stats. Go ahead.
What stats? What do you want?
What do you want? What do you want?
Just Google Harden.
We know Paul George is a better 3-point shooter.
They play different styles.
You know my favorite thing too is like, because we're going to start talking about the other teams in the league, is like somebody put up the the players of Mikal Bridges versus Paul George, and it's like Paul George is way better than Mikal Bridges. I'm like, well, first of all, he's supposed to be because he's a 9-time All-Star.
Yeah,
never been an All-Star, so that's not a flex. But then on top of that, when you look at it, 3-point percentage, Paul George is like 2 points better in percentage-wise. Free throws, he's 7 point percentage better. And field goal percentage, he's 3 point percentage better. I'm like, when you actually look at the numbers, yes, all your numbers are green and grayed out for Paul George. But when you actually look at the numbers, it's just like 0.2, 0.3, 3 point. Like, bro, it's not that much difference.
All right, what stats you want? We got points per game career. What do you want? What do you got here?
Points per game.
Points per game. Harden 24.1. Paul George 20.8. Rebounds per game. Harden 5.6. Paul George 6.3.
One difference.
Assists per game. Harden 7.1. Paul George 3.7.
2 times as much.
Steals
not
per
his
game.
role.
Paul George 1.7. James Harden 1.5.
He just swipes the shit.
Paul George 0.4. James Harden 0.6. So
the numbers are very similar.
So the numbers is that, are you saying that we should go off of that completely 100%? Like that's what we're doing?
No,
Come on, man.
I'm not saying that completely wrong. I'm saying in general, they're the same player. They're all-star players. They're very good players that disappear in the biggest moments in the playoffs, which is what they've both done in their careers. They're very similar.
I understand, but there's key differences also. Like there's one thing about Harden is I never believed he was going to fully give the reins to Joel ever. I knew it was a contract year. I knew he was an audition for his next max contract or buying and getting to another team. Of course, I think a lot of us understood that. And Paul George is not going to come here and think that he's the man low key behind the scenes. And he knows Joel's the man. I think that we're going to have that, be a huge factor. And he's also going to recognize Maxey as a dog in a way that Harden probably did, but Harden can't help himself, man. He can't help himself holding the damn ball and wanting to be the hero and then just dribble and shooting some bullshit. So it's a different style. I
do think style of plays are completely different for both of them.
They are completely different.
Stats-wise, they're similar. Styles of play are completely different.
I don't like James Harden, but I'll also say he had the best assist that he's ever had in his career when he was here with Joel Embiid and Maxey.
Yeah, I hope he would passing the damn Joel Embiid.
But that's my point. He didn't go dribble.
No, not until the end.
Again.
But he did keep the ball out of Maxey's hands, though.
Yes, he did.
That's true.
So that's the assumption. If you're hoping Maxey takes another leap, like it seems like he's prone to do every year, then you hope it fits better.
And that's also a problem with the terrible coach that we had, how he was running the game, how he was running the game. So,
yeah, hopefully this is like new toys for Nurse to play with, and he kind of steps up like he didn't really last year in the ways that we want him to. So I hope he makes some changes, mixes it up. Hopefully we sign Terry Payne. I don't know if you saw that campaign, that whole thing. He gave like a false name because he just didn't want to random stuff. I don't even know what he had to do with it.
Also, we're gonna need a new rule, by the way. We're gonna need employee 25 and employee 12 when we mention Simmons and Harris. We can't say that.
That's fair.
Like no more. They don't deserve it.
I can't like
bullshit and tuberculosis.
You got that Berkey on him. So somebody in the comments just said Trey went Yizzard.
He hit it out of Wrigley.
Oh, that's nice. That's
back, baby. Let's go.
Trey Shiesty. You know what I mean? I said, the Phillies are fine. Like all the worry. I believe in Dombrowski. Like, they're going to do what they got to do. They're going to make these moves. I have no worries.
Harper was jogging.
We're having somewhat staggered. I mean, Trey's back. I know a bunch of other people got hurt, but like it's a little bit staggered, thankfully.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of accountability going on out there in these streets. So we got to make sure that we stay accountable. You know what I mean? Trey Shiesty out here doing his work, earning his keep. But so let's talk about the Knicks real quick. So I did bring up Mikal. Well, you brought up Mikal, and we were talking about that. So that move, oh my God.
We broke that at the end of our show last week.
We did. Oh, yeah. Also, shout out to Jason because last week on the show, you did say that they were going to draft Jared McCain. We'll run back to that later. We'll talk about that later on the show. You did call that. And I said what was going to happen when they drafted him, and I was right about that. So we both called. But as far as the Knicks are concerned, the Mikal Bridges thing, I'm like, this is when I think to myself, to people that are so, you can't trade Joel. What are you going to get for him? And then I bring up the Rudy Gobert thing. Well, that's never going to happen again. Nobody's that dumb. Are you sure? Are you sure?
There's always somebody.
Because I just saw the Knicks give up somebody's house, 3 children, a pony, and draft picks and players for Mikal Bridges. Now, again, it hurts us because we let him go and we should have had him and all those things or whatever. But it's just insane that the haul they got for that guy. If I trade Joel Embiid, I need the world. I need your firstborn. I need everything, and you could get it from somebody for Joel. If this kind of trade's happening for KD, for Mikal Bridges, like, I'm tired of hearing the people say, "Well, you can't trade Joel. What are you going to get for him? You're going to rebuild your whole life with Joel Embiid." So that's why, again, I think you got that 2-year window, because at some point they will have to move on and flex that muscle. I'd hate to see him win somewhere else, but we're not there yet. But as far as Knicks are concerned, how much better do you think the Knicks got, Jason?
I don't think they got as much better as everybody talks. I know that it's cool that they all went to Villanova and everything, but now they got to fit in another guy who, in Brooklyn, I guess he was the first option there. He's really a 3rd or 4th option.
Yes,
and
he'll slide back.
They brought OG Anunoby back, who he might as well have been a Sixer with how often he gets hurt. So that's another. And they paid the hell out of him. Easy contract. But I think the Knicks, they're relying a lot on Brunson to be the main player in their offense. And after the minutes that Tibbs puts on those guys, you don't usually see them come back the next year and play as good.
So, Harry?
Well said. Well said. No, I totally agree. I mean, it's, Hardenstein getting, of course that contract that he got is crazy. So, but I mean, not having that big and kind of having Randall come back, which for me is like, I don't know how, again, I talk to my Knicks fan friends and I think they're very like, it depends on how Julius is playing, probably how they feel about him. But ultimately, I feel like he doesn't fit with anybody almost. Like, I feel like he's a guy that takes bad shots. He has one direction he goes, left-handed all the time. You always know he's going to do. And I feel like he just kind of disrupts the flow of what that sort of style of offense could be with all those Nova guys. So to me, it's just they're going to lose a little bit of rebounding. Obviously, they're going to crash the boards. But again, how much can their health sustain? The challenge now is Mikal Bridges, the Iron Man, playing 83 games out of 82, 2 years ago, going against Tibbs now and how many minutes he's going to play. So again, they improved. Mikal's, I think before this year, you could have made an argument that he was the best of the bunch, even over Brunson. So I think it's very exciting to see them together, but also it's just the Knicks trying to have fun with their fan base and get the Nova guys together. I mean, they can't win with that, so not that much better.
So I've already cussed a lot on this show, and I apologize for those who are sensitive to that, but fuck the New York Knickerbockers and anybody that came into town with. They're assholes, and they suck at life. And if Joel Embiid didn't have Bell's palsy, you would have got fucking dog walked out here. So
Bell's palsy. That's not even a joke. That's crazy, to reference that.
Yeah,
that's just, he literally had Bell's palsy.
It literally sounds like a diss. Like I'm like just throwing shade or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's why you got hepatitis B.
That's what I'm saying. It's just crazy.
So random and crazy to say. So you would have got dog walked if the dude was healthy. So that being said, Randall coming back to the team makes the team worse.
Yes.
Destroys chemistry. Them losing Hardenstein, which, my goodness, that dude was like Frankenstein. He was out there killing them. Losing him is a key part of what they needed to do to keep their strength. Then on top of that, Thibodeau has never won anything. And his teams do, after ascending, break down the next year. So when they get into the top 2 or 3 seed, the next year, they'll probably be a 4 or 5 seed. And guess what? He runs his team into the ground. He breaks their heart. Joakim Noah gave a great story in one of the podcasts out here, and he said he remembers driving in to practice because he was like, I always get there early because I like to get up shots. He's like, I remember every time for a year I drove into practice, and Kyle Korver was just sitting in his car, no music on, no nothing, just blank staring out the window because he just hated having to go into practice because the practice.
Oh shit! Yeah, I heard that
Monday morning.
And I'm like, that's insane. And that's what you get with Thibodeau. He's never won anything. He won as assistant coach because he wasn't allowed to dog walk everybody and run them into the ground.
And he had all the Hall of Famers on that team.
yeah. I mean, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He runs people into the ground. He wears them down. And without Hardenstein and bringing Randall back, they're going to have to move him or trade him because he doesn't fit. I feel like they got worse. And as much as I am annoyed about Paul George, the Sixers are better. I also don't care if they're the 3rd seed and we're the 5th seed and we got to go there. Because I'll be completely honest with you, they're so close. Their fan base is so annoying and they overpay for everything. Their life is expensive. So I fully expect to not have a home court advantage either way because they're going to travel down here. They're going to travel well. But again, Joel Embiid being healthy, I don't bring your mom down here, bro. I give a ham sandwich what you're going to do. You Joel Embiid healthy, you're not beating the 76ers with anything that you have right now. I don't even know what the rest of the roster looks like. Again, I'm down on my team, and I'm annoyed about the way it is, but I'm not stupid. I know we could beat the New York bitch-ass Knickerbockers any day of the week, okay? So it is what it is. If you're a Knicks fan, again, go fuck yourself. I appreciate you being in the tri-state area. You're not really terrible people, but you're Knicks fans. And so as far as I'm concerned, you suck. I saw the thing where they came down here, and I saw that dude in the wheelchair rolling back and forth over Sixers flags. I'm like, that's the scummiest shit, because I can't bust on a handicapped person, but at the same time, you disrespected us by that's
about to be Crips and Bloods out here against the hand. That's about to be.
That got me so bad because I'm like, I can't even. The man's in the. I can't. But he's disrespectful. So fuck you, Knicks. Fuck you, Knicks fans. Fuck New York. Fuck New York. Fuck
New York. Bing bong.
I apologize. I might feel some sort of way about the Bell Palsy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's what it is. Now, let's just roll to the Bucks. Are you worried about the Bucks at all, Harry?
That's. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, honestly. I just feel like Dame and Giannis. I mean, there's just weird vibes there. I guess there could be some sort of like resurgence for them or something in the beginning of the season that makes me think, okay, this team looks completely different. But they still got Doc, right? So I mean, there's a lot of reasons to not believe in them. I think they don't have a lot of shooting. They don't have. I mean, Brook Lopez is getting older. They're depending on these guys. That is it going to work this time? I don't think so. So again, Dame, I think he's losing a step. Each year, maybe not a huge step, but and part of it had to do with the coach and the change and all that stuff last year. But I just don't believe in the Bucks. I don't think Giannis really he doesn't have the same feel with that team that he had when they won. He doesn't feel like he is bought in totally. So not worried about the Bucks.
Jason,
is Glenn Rivers still coaching the Bucks? Then why the hell would we ever be worried about the Bucks? There's no team that's gonna flame out faster than the Bucks with that sorry coach.
Yeah.
There's no more to even talk. Middleton's old now. He's not a weird option anymore. You can't count on him. Dame might be good, but Dame can't guard me or you.
They were 30-6 before Glenn took over. Then they went 30-30. Come on, bro.
He said, he didn't have the preseason to figure it all out. You had a whole half a season.
Weren't you the advisor to the team or something like that?
You had to figure it out before you got there. Yeah, it was figured out.
That's a good point. You could have just kept doing the same shit.
It seemed really figured out. You know what I mean? You are the only denominator that changed everything. You are the fuck up. You are the loser. Again, glad I pat myself on the back because I told everybody losing his coach in NBA history. But yeah, he's gonna come here to the Sixers and do something. That's why I got to call him Glenn his whole career. No respect for Glenn Rivers.
But I'm more worried about one of the younger teams ascending than I am the Knicks or the Bucks.
Are you running this show today or am I running this show today?
I'm trying to talk.
Shut up and wait till I get there. So, Jason, are you worried about the Orlando Magic? Orlando Magic
are going to be better. They added KCP from Denver, which helps them spread the floor a little bit more after they screwed up the Jet Howard pick last year. I don't know why they wasted a draft pick on him, even though he's Juwan Howard's son, Michigan, whatever.
Nepotism.
But no, they're not going to be good enough yet, but they are definitely on the rise. They just paid Jonathan Isaac a ton of money, another guy who's constantly hurt, but when he's out there, he's just locked down on the wings. So they'll be up there. They should be a 4 or 5 seed, them in Cleveland.
Why do you think they didn't go after Paul George?
I don't think Paul George was going to go there, even though I think he should have gone there if he really wanted to try and win.
I think it's the exact reason why he didn't go there, because if he would have went there, the pressure would have been tremendous because he would have been the elder statesman. He would have been more responsible. You come here to Philadelphia, everybody blames Morey, they blame Embiid, and then Paul George's like, well, I was out here doing my best. I did what I could. You know what I mean? So there's less pressure, even though there's a lot of pressure in Philadelphia. Yeah, and you still get that max money. Harry, you like the Magic? You worried about the Magic?
I'm not worried about the Magic because again, it's all Joel's health. Everything's Joel's health. He's moshing that team if if we see them and he's healthy. So I'm not worried about them. But I do like them as a team. I do like Paolo. I think he's a good player. I think their roster they're building is nice. Franz Wagner's a nice player as well. So I like that. I like what they're doing. Did they bring back like Steve Clifford or something like that? That was Charlotte. I think I'm mixing up. But either way, I like the direction they're headed in. I like that fight they had in the playoffs this past season. That was really exciting to watch them. They had some of the most entertaining games in the whole playoffs, like their series. Yeah, so I'm a low key fan a little bit.
So I'm not going to let us talk about the Pacers. I'm just going to say this: The Pacers give the Sixers problems because they play fast, and they're a really good, solid team. In the playoffs, they lucked out because they got to go up against people that were injured, and then they had injury problems themselves. In the playoffs, they look like a totally different animal because the game slows down, and the thing that made them the strongest goes away in the playoffs. So I'm not worried about the Pacers at all, so I don't even want to spend any more time talking about that. I just wanted to put that out there because that's just a general fact of how they're going to be. They're going to look really formidable during the regular season, but in the playoffs, I feel like we could get them again if we're healthy. Now let's talk about the last person in each conference, and we're going to swing over to the West. The fucking Celtics shitty championship, and Jason Tatum is not Finals MVP, not Eastern Conference Finals MVP, because he's a loser, a douchebag, and a poser, and he's an embarrassment to basketball society as a whole. That team, are you worried about them, Harry? Are you worried about the Celtics?
Yes, I'm fucking worried about that team. They are stacked, bro.
Wait, breaking news!
I was gonna say you got some.
PG. Oh no, Kate, you a week too late now. Not thanks. Was it delicious? Tell the people. Were you about to leave your man for me? I mean, I'm trying to do some journalism here, Kate. Get late and drop a thanks for the spaghetti. I'm used to getting a Facebook DM message. I'm trying to. Oh, my bad. I expect more from you, Kate. You hurt my feelings. You hurt my heart. Okay.
Breaking news: BG is banned from my house for the rest of the year.
Banned from spaghetti, making spaghetti.
In your home and you happy and all that. You best to be tempted. You best to be tempted. That spaghetti and meatballs was delicious, woman. Delicious. Make you leave your family. I apologize. Breaking news. Had to break it. Harry.
Now you gotta make me restart talking about this damn team. Okay. But yeah, fuck the Celtics. I am worried about them. Drew Holiday is amazing. Derek White is amazing.
Well, come back, Harry. I did it. It's funny. Come back. So now you can talk about the Celtics.
All right. First, you want to talk about the owner, or you want to talk about just the team? Where do we want to go first?
Shoot. We'll wait for the ownership. We'll just talk about the team. Right. We'll wait for Harry to get back.
So, yes, the Celtics are still the beast of the East. There's nothing we could do right now with them. They're deeper on the wings. They got better scorers. They got guards that can defend all over the place. Their bench is better. And they're younger. It's just they have everything. We just hope Paul George can be close to Jaylen Brown, and I don't even think we're going to get that. So, yeah, the Celtics are going to continue to be an issue for a while, I assume.
Harry, the Celtics team. Are you worried about the Celtics team?
Do I sound crazy?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yes, I'm very worried. I mean, again, when they got Drew Holiday, I was just like, why? Why did Bucks are you doing this to the whole East? The whole East. They're not just doing it to themselves. They're doing it to us, everybody else. Again, I think they're just a really, really good roster. My thing about them is they still don't have a ton of size, and I think all year people were talking about how they didn't want to see us if Joel was healthy. So again, Joel being healthy. I'll go to war with Joel healthy against the Celtics, but they are a stacked team, and they're going to probably, be the 1 seed again this year.
How can they afford?
I don't know. 900 was it almost $1 billion? Their roster.
They're paying everybody. How can they afford everybody?
I don't know.
I don't care about the money, but how can they afford it? How can we get somebody from the front office of the Celtics to come and work for the 76ers? The cutest thing that happens in media, which permeates to people on Twitter and in my comments on Instagram and TikTok. Well, the Warriors wanted Paul George, so you obviously don't know shit. If that championship organization wanted him, then what do you know? You know nothing. And I say, I know everything, okay? The Warriors in their championship era was built by Jerry West and then his disciples.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they let the other guy go and they brought in Levy, that's when you get the Jordan Poole contract. That's when you get the Jordan Poole trade away. Yeah. That's how you lose.
Bob Myers is the guy who.
Bob Myers, thank you. That's how you lose Klay Thompson, because you fumbled that a little bit. And now you lost a little legacy player. That's how you don't get anything in return for it. That's how you lose PG. Not PG. CP. That's how you lose him and not get anything in return for it. Because back when they were winning, back when they had the credibility that I'm saying the same thing about Paul George, there was a different person in charge making those decisions. So coming to me now and trying to give credit to this legacy organization and say, well, they wanted him. Yeah, the new dumbasses wanted him. The new morons that are making mistake after mistake after mistake for the last 3 years after they lucked up and got a championship, they want him. They're not the same as the Warriors that were swindling Kevin Durant to come play there and making all the right moves with their ancillary players and their bench. It's not the same. And if you knew better, and if you knew basketball, and if you had a photographic memory, and you were more of an asshole like me, you would know better than to say the dumb things that you say, like, well, the Warriors wanted Paul George, so you're an idiot. Okay, go fuck yourself. Now, the Celtics, I hate them with all my heart. Again, be one of their GMs. I hate Boston. I hate all of Boston. I know I said New York. It is, you know what? I'd marry New York and everybody in it, and I'd pay off the bills before I fucking help anybody from Boston hanging off of a cliff. I'd let them all fucking fall slowly in slow motion so they can live the pain of their life dying fast. I hate fucking Boston. So I take a GM, I take somebody from that disciple or somebody any day of the week because they all know what they're doing. They've been trained by Danny Ainge. So their owner, Celtics are selling. Mm-hmm. Anybody buying?
Somebody will buy it. It's gonna be worth a ton of money, but that owner is a genius.
What do he do?
What? He's like, you get paid, you get paid, you get paid. Not by me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not cashing the check, but I'll sign them for now.
Well, I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, if I was Josh Harris, I'd put together a group, go buy the Celtics, trade all the players.
What if they just trade?
You know, I mean, well, the owner wants to be out. The Celtics owner's just trying to get paid and go live on his yacht, and
yeah, he got his ring and he's good to go.
Yeah, he got it. Yep.
He built his bunker or somewhere. He's ready to go.
Yeah, they're going to live off this ring for the next 10, 20 years. So
hopefully, as long as KG and them live off that one ring they got in 08.
Hey,
they will.
We're Rabbit 99. The title of the show is Sixers versus everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hate on my team. You can't hate on my team. You hate on my team,
right?
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Warriors.
Hey, look,
that's not the Northeast.
That's right. True. So, it's the Celtics again. Just trash panda organization, clown card. It is Tatum. Congratulations, you guys suck. Now let's move over to the West
real quick before can we say in the East for one more team that's just hilarious?
Go ahead.
The Bulls trying to just give away Zach LaVine plus picks. They're like, do you want to? We will give you a pick, and everyone is like, we are good. Like we do not want that contract.
And the worst part about that is again, I know Jason, I know you remember it. You can confirm it.
Yeah.
Before when you were doing all these things when Ben Simmons was falling apart, I was like, yo, go give me Zach LaVine. He's somebody that can put up points. And it's just a bucket. Before he got paid, before he had that crazy contract. And what did people do? They laughed at me on the internet. Oh, you're stupid. You don't know nothing. 2 years later, man, we should really try to get Zach LaVine instead of Harden. We really need. Well, no, Zach LaVine's getting paid $1 billion now. Yeah. What do you mean you want Zach LaVine now? Oh, now you want Zach LaVine. You laughed at me. So again, I'll be right. Y'all be wrong. I mean, I'm from the future. Shout out to my boy Caruso. That's all I wanted. That's all
I wanted him bad, man.
It's all I ever need to say. Yeah. I need a white boy.
He might be better fit than PG. He might do because he might play more D and shoot more threes.
I tell you what, you bring the Caruso to Philadelphia, George W. is abound. Eastern Conference at the minimum. Stock is high, my guy. Stock is high. We need a white boy.
I agree.
Jason is against the Caucasians. Jason's anti-Caucasian when it comes to
Euros.
But
I wouldn't read Shepard in the draft, but that I knew that was never going to happen.
Well, shout out to Justin from Tennessee. We were texting because he's like, "Oh, the Sixers should have got Connect."
Yeah,
and I'm like, to myself, the only reason I want to connect is because I wanted more size. McCain's fine. We're going to talk about that again later. But like I said, but I want to connect because I wanted that 6'6". I wanted that big frame. I wanted somebody with a little bit more size instead of having the smaller backcourt when those two do happen to play together. Yep. But he's like he's a top 5, blah blah blah. And I had to like, yo, bro, he's not top 5. He went 17 overall. You are what you were drafted at.
Because he's 23 years old. That's why he was so good in college.
Exactly. You're at that point. You're a full-grown man, bodied up against boys.
Yeah.
And again, we'll talk about it. McCain wasn't that far from rebounds, and he's 4 inches shorter because that's about hustling hard. That's about go get it. That's about want to. That's about know-how. That's about why I said, like, I know that Paul George is not James Harden, but in general, they're really close. They're closer to being similar than they're farther of being apart at this point at their careers, is my point. Earlier in their careers, I would have said yes. James Harden, offensive weapon. Paul George, Swiss Army knife, more defense, all that kind of stuff. But now at this later state, they're closer to being similar than they are being farther apart. The Western Conference, who you worried about, Jason?
Oh, OKC is probably the best team in the league right now after getting Hartenstein and Caruso. They were already pretty much a complete team, but they lack size when Chet would have go against a big guy and they struggled to rebound. Now they had Hartenstein, and Caruso is going to go get rebounds. And he's gonna lock people up. He's going along with
the torture chamber. The torture chamber. That's crazy.
Dort, man, they're just locking people up. They need was it Jalen Williams?
J-Dub, yep.
First one, right? Because there's 2 of them on OKC. I think number 1's the one that's the good one. But either way, and Shea, like they should be the 1 seed again in the West easily.
I mean, it's crazy how did OKC get all that weaponry? Who did they trade?
Well, when they did their
Paul George.
Who was it?
Paul George, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine the Clippers are hating and kicking themselves over that.
They swindled.
They didn't have. Did they trade Shea in that trade? Yeah, they did.
Because Glenn Rivers said
he wasn't that good.
Yeah, he's not that good.
He won't develop.
He won't develop. So, Harry, who do you think the top 2 teams are the problem in the West? You got to worry about.
Top 2. I mean, that's interesting. I feel like the Nuggets are my 3. I think they feel a little bit desperate right now. Kind of
the Nuggets are falling off for me. The Nuggets
there's reports that Jokic or the Nuggets, maybe not just Jokic, but that they want Russ, and I'm just like, Russ, like Westbrook to the Nuggets, like how does that? I don't know how that fits at all. So yeah, that's weird to me. So they dropped off. I'm gonna go T-Wolves and OKC for sure.
So as far as Westbrook is concerned, Westbrook gets such a bad rap, and it annoys me to no end, because when he was with the Lakers, he was one of the only ones playing and hustling when LeBron was injured and Anthony Davis was injured. He was out there hustling. And for the Clippers, he was going out there giving them solid minutes off the bench.
Yeah, I liked his minutes on the Clippers.
And he also gives attitude. The Nuggets need somebody with a pulse. They're very happy-go-lucky. Gordon tries to be the tough guy, but nobody's afraid of him.
Right.
Nobody's worried about him. He's not aggressive enough. He's annoying, but he's not aggressive. So he might say, look, I need somebody who can kind of like facilitate, score a little bit, but will hound people. Like, you know what I mean? Like a legitimate Patrick Beverly type that can actually do something on a given night. So I hate
not
that
PJ Tucker.
Not PJ Tucker. Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, that you're making arguments like that. I'm like, okay, where's all this like detective work to find the positives for like the Sixers? You know what I mean? Like you're making points that people would make to justify Westbrook being good on the team. I'm not trying to say Westbrook is terrible or stuff like that. I'm not trying to call him Westbrook. But I'm just saying, what?
You know what the difference is? Because Westbrook is the type of player the same, and Jason knows this about me too, because we've argued about this. My love for TJ McConnell. How high is it, Jason?
Very high.
Very high. And why is that? Because he fucking fights all the time.
Yeah.
He knows that he's not Shaquille O'Neal, but he's out there playing like he's prime Shaquille O'Neal. He's giving you maximum effort. So when I look at Westbrook, he gives me that all the time.
Of course.
When I look at Paul George and I see how he plays, I don't feel that from him.
I know. I wasn't trying to make that comparison, though. I'm just trying to say,
I'm
yeah.
That's why it sounds like when I go to bat for somebody, I'm going to bat for the attitude, which is why I like Patrick Beverly so much. Like, I know that he's not, but I also know he's an actual dog. I know he's somebody who will have your teammates back. He will go out there and not let Joel get pushed around or undercut or something not going against him. So there's certain guys like that I will go to bat for. And not for nothing, the Joker is the white Embiid, just one of the greatest centers that we have in this league, but he's also healthier and he plays all the time. He doesn't, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I was fighting for that, but it's not good.
I just mean, like, I don't see that Westbrook like giving them these intangibles that, like, okay, yeah, maybe the perfect version of the perfect fit in the perfect year, like then I'd put them back up there. I don't know. I'm not saying that you were making that argument. I'm not even saying that.
No. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Again, the reason it feels like that is because I go off of what that person emulates to me.
Right.
Russ will be in
gi-
the second unit with this team now, though.
Yes.
Right. If he plays like he did with the Clippers, you know what I mean? Like then I feel better about it, for sure. But
if you told me he needed to be your starter, I'd be like, oh, whoa,
Yeah.
Drop further down.
I mean, what are we doing?
they would be the 5th seed. I don't know. Dude.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So, but OKC is definitely number one. They have gotten so much better.
Yeah.
I do not.
And they're going to get better. Their players are young. They're all going to get better. Like literally just the individual players they already had. It's crazy.
And
They can still trade for somebody.
The picks are crazy too, right? They still have
Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan. Oh, whoa, he had a bad game and now he's tired. He could never be. Y'all were calling him Michael Jordan. Bitch, y'all were the ones calling him Michael Jordan.
I was not.
Not you. I'm talking about the pundits. The pundits were the ones that were saying it for 4 straight weeks.
Cool dunk.
And then when he fell short as the team did, it's like, well, he can't be. Like, bitch, you're the one who said it. In the first place. He literally sat there and was defending Joel Embiid and LeBron James, saying, "Hey, these guys are great. You put them up so high, and then when something bad happens, you want to tear them down." He was really speaking for himself. I know. I know I jumped on him like, say, "Oh, he's rooting for, he's speaking for Embiid and speaking for LeBron," but he's literally saying, like, "Look, I know y'all gonna do this shit to me, so just let me play ball. I'm the young kid on the block." So I think that experience in the playoffs is going to make them better.
Oh yeah,
and they're going to have that huge leap, and they have confidence going. And those are the two I'm worried about.
Real quick. Robin, pose this. So I think I'm wondering now. Anthony Edwards, right? He really understood what it felt like to play playoff defense and offense, right? 2 ends. I think you guys think he's gonna come back next year in some crazy shape potentially. I feel like that if he does come back in some low body fat, looking leaner, I feel like this could be a crazy year for them because that might be.
Yeah. My fault to cut you off. He's
you're
also
good.
An Olympic boost playing with those guys. When those guys go over there, they all work together, and they, you learn how LeBron works. You learn how Kawhi will be there. I don't know. Kawhi doesn't really show up for stuff, but guys like that, younger kids get to learn off of those guys and learn what it really, really takes to win. So he might get that and come back with that too.
That's a great point.
I think that what they need to do is learn how to win in game 5 or 6 instead of taking all your series to game 7. Because if they would have stayed away from that, I think he would have been fine. That is a lot for any team because it's just harder to win that way for anybody to do it, especially when you're dealing with nagging injuries and things like that. And he didn't seem to complain about it, but you can see towards late in that last series, he was laboring. And
I think the matchup got him too. Dallas,
the matchup,
opposite of Denver, which is who Minnesota was built to beat. It just killed them. Because it was a totally opposite matchup. And how often do you go against 2 teams that are direct opposites of one another?
Exactly.
Yeah. And him and McDaniels felt like they were just hounding the Nuggets, which they were, and then all of a sudden it's Luka and Kyrie just moving the way they want you to move. So
and it seems like none of us have the Mavericks going back.
I was gonna say nobody mentioned that, right? Clay signing, and that's is that enough? Clay, he was what, terrible last year, so I can't really look at that as a great.
I assume Klay Thompson is washed.
Yeah, he's been washed for at least this past season.
He's obviously not the second best shooter in the league or anything like that anymore. But I did read a thing where they said he had a 2-week stretch where he shot 20% from 3, which counts. Yeah. But so I'm not going to say if you take it away, but if you did hypothetically, he was still up there above 42% shooting from 3.
Yeah,
and I won't lie. For the right money, I would have taken him as a 4th guy on the Sixers.
Oh, for sure. I was saying, I texted my brother saying, I was like, "Yo, Clay's still out there." I wouldn't hate that. I mean, again, I think with Luka being able to facilitate, be so ball dominant, Kyrie being ball dominant, he can spot up a lot, and that should be great for Klay. So it's definitely an addition for them. They're gonna be better. But at the end of the day, Luka hasn't been healthy for a single playoffs yet either. Talking about Embiid, right. So it's he's got to be healthy.
And I think the Mavs with Lively got their big man. I think
Lively's
stud big guy.
Yeah, great point. And he was starting to shoot a little bit towards the end of the year too, and his jumper doesn't look broke. So if he can be their real legit guy, that might be another leap.
So we're gonna swing back to the Sixers in the draft, but first I want to talk about the most important pick at 55 that the NBA has ever seen in their life.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. I think was the 55th pick in the draft.
13th pick.
No. There's too many Porter Juniors or too many Porter.
I mix up the Michael Porter Juniors.
Yeah, there's a junior that's the only 55th pick in the draft that's mattered in the last 30 years. There's only one player that if I named him, I can't remember his name. That's because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's been somewhat relevant. So that pick doesn't matter. But this year it mattered because that guy's getting interviewed like he was the number 1 pick of the draft. It is LeBron James Jr., Bronny, is a Laker.
Oh, I found a good 55th pick, by the way.
Who?
Patty Mills.
Patty Mills.
Oh, Patty Mills.
Patty Mills. That's what it was. I was
Better than Bronny.
I was thinking Porter and then anyway, Patty Mills. That's what
Patty
it was.
Mills.
Because I went down the list and I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. And I was like, oh, shoot, Patty Mills.
That's a steal, Patty Mills.
Yeah, there you
Popovich,
go. So,
Jesus.
yeah, exactly. But so Harry, how do you feel about Bronny James getting drafted to the Lakers? How'd that make you feel?
Listen, part of the world now that doesn't work well with me and my ADHD brain is like people talk about the same stories forever, and it's like, so I feel like I already have felt this a little bit, right, for a long time. It's been talked about for so long. I knew it was going to happen. Of course it happened. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. But that being, and for LeBron's whole life too, when he was 18 coming in the league, you're like, there's a chance he's got a kid. Like, there's a chance, right? We all knew about that. So on some level, it's like, okay, finally it's over. But also, it's very cool. It's very cool that this is happening. Like LeBron playing with his son. Again, I don't give a fuck that it's the Lakers and it's LeBron signing his son, whatever. I don't love that, like, they just have to lie through their teeth about all the reasoning and stuff. It's like, oh, we were, never planning on doing this, whatever. And it's like Rich Paul is calling around telling everybody he's going to Australia if you draft him. So it's like, okay, what's all this press conference bullshit? But I don't really care about that so much because it is very cool, and I'm excited. Again, I'm happy for, like, LeBron does have a great family. He has been a very present father, as far as we all know, and everyone in his children's lives, and that's so cool to see. It's kind of also cool to see them, like, dapping up at the press conference, like, okay, this professional dynamic. You're not hugging your dad, stuff like that. It's just cool. It's just very cool. I'm happy for Bronny. I hate the Lakers, so again, this is as positive as I'll be about it, but it is cool to see.
Jason.
One of the coolest moments growing up as a kid was watching Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. go back to back, hitting home runs in the same game, and going after each other, and watching those two play together in the dugout and all these things going on, and the way they would, interact on the bench and all those things. So it's going to be awesome, man. Like, I don't really like the way Clutch went about it, the process of it, but as far as the pick, everyone complaining that it was nepotism, all that should just shut up. Of course it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Giannis has 2 of his brothers in the league because of that, right? Jalen Brunson's dad's a coach on the Knicks, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, this stuff, that's how it works, man. Just because none of us can pull that off, that's just how the league works. Who cares about that?
Yeah.
Austin Reeves.
Rivers.
Austin
Reeves is LeBron's other child.
Yeah, so I'm so down.
Unless you were going to say Austin Reeves is going to lose a spot to Bron.
I saw a picture in my mind. I see it right now. It's LeBron James and Reeves, and then it's Connect and Bronny Jr.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I love America.
Yeah.
So you brought up the Ken Griffey Jr. This is like the greatest thing that ever happened in the NBA because there's so many Kenny Martin Jr., Curry, the Wardell family, father-son duos, Klay Thompson's father, Lance Jr., like his dad.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many father-son tandems and legacies in the
There's
NBA.
more on the way, by the way.
Oh, they're all going crazy. Oh my God, Harry, you're starting to crack up.
Yeah, because Melo's kids on the way, Gilbert Arenas' kids on the way. Like, there's some stud young guys coming up.
And it's so cool because, again, it's happened throughout the history of the league.
Yeah.
But to step foot on the court with your son while you're playing, shows your level of greatness. The only other player that probably could have got away with it was Dirk, maybe Kobe if he would have started his family earlier, and half man, half amazing.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter. He played long enough to where he could have done it too. So to be able to step foot on the court with your child is such an awesome feat. And to be one of the game's GOATs, it's like, okay, you want to talk about nepotism? I'll just speak directly to ownership. The Laurie family, is his son in line? Okay. Jerry Jones, is his son in line? Okay. The Lakers themselves, the great Mr. Dr. Buss had 3 children, 2 loser sons he tried to give multiple companies and chances to. They had no care or wherewithal about the team. Jeannie was the only one worth a salt, and he still went above her to give it to his sons because of nepotism and legacy. And Jeannie came back and saved it. Like, she cared. And she hasn't done a great job. She's done a better job than the brothers did when the brothers were running to the ground. So I don't care about nepotism. It doesn't matter. If you at your job right now making fries at McDonald's, you're a regional manager, don't try to get your child a job. You're a scumbag. How many of you losers have a father and son job that your father let down to you, but you were such a piece of shit father that now your son doesn't want to go anywhere near a toilet because he thinks you're an asshole because you fucked up as a parent. So don't be mad at LeBron James because his son wants to play basketball and run in his footsteps, and then his other son's going to do the same damn thing. It is greatness. It is the GOAT. They are lions, and my goodness, I love to see it. Like I said, Ken Griffey Jr., that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? LeVar Ball, people clown this dude. He got 2 of his kids in the NBA, and the other one stole the watch and fucked it all up. But I mean, that's a great dad, okay? He went out there and he did it for his son. And LeBron to be able to play at the same time, shut up. That is greatness. It is greatness. I mean, like I said, everybody wish their kid went and did something that their dad did and followed their legacy, their footsteps. He did it. You didn't. Stop hating. Stop being mad. Now, back to the Sixers. McCain.
Is it McCain or McCabe? I don't know why I keep going. There's a Jordan McCabe. There is a Jordan McCabe, I feel like, though, also.
I'm about to name the show We Fucked Up Everybody.
We don't know anybody's name.
That's the name of the show.
The worst part is we know them. We're just old.
There's definitely a Jordan McCain and Jordan McCabe. Though. There's definitely two.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look.
Michael Carter Porter.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know any of these damn names.
I've actually been to.
I need more juniors. I need more LeBron James
My memory's
juniors.
usually good. I don't know. I do know what's wrong. I didn't go to sleep today until 12:30, and I woke up at 4:30 just so I can try to get back on a regular schedule. So I am tired.
That's the worst.
It is the worst. I'm like delusional. That's why I cussed a lot tonight too, because I'm just
Trying to stay awake.
Hey, I took a Red Bull and I had a coffee before we did this.
Oh, that's why. You cursing so damn much. Yeah.
I'm ready to go. But anyway,
Fuck them up.
back to the game. I wanted somebody with more size.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like this pick because, again, Philadelphia is hard. And Maxi's joy has carried him through the tough times and the down times. Again, he's shown me the fight. The same thing, Harry, what you were saying about how I was going to bat for Westbrook. I'll do that for Maxey. When Embiid was making jokes in the exit interview and Harden was blaming Rivers and Rivers was blaming Harden, Maxey's in that bitch crying. Like, yo, we're fighting. I wanted this. I can't. I don't want to go out like that. Like, he had tears in his eyes. Okay, you show me that you care. And it wasn't like when Joel Embiid was crying in the hallway, like soft. It was anger. Like, I want this. Like, I wanted this. And that's somebody you want to fight for. Now, when I look at the McCain kid, I'm like, all right, this dude's already had adversity. Like I said, I made a video. When I brought him up to my daughter, she's like, oh, yeah. She's showing me. She's like, I texted my mom. We were talking to my friend. I was like, how do you know who this is? Because she doesn't watch college sports.
Right.
You know what I mean? She'll watch like women's basketball. She doesn't watch the men. She's like, oh, I've been following him before he got drafted by Duke. And I'm like,
Drafted.
She's like, oh, he been on TikTok dancing and stuff in high school. So he was already popping. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. She's like, oh, I love him. And she's so excited. She's like, I got him. I got Maxey. So she's set. And like, I looked at the chat. All the girlies was like, you know what I mean? So cool. But that shows me too that he's had to deal with this for a long time. He's had to deal with the hate, the negativity, the comments. And he said today in an interview with SportsCenter, he's like, yeah, I already know what's going to happen. He's like, oh, well, tell me the headline. Oh, Joel says, hit this three. I missed the three. And people are going to be throwing up TikToks of me dancing. And I'm like, exactly. That's what's going to happen.
Yes, you're right.
It's only going to happen.
Yeah, so at least
and they posted it. More SportsCenter did that today.
So at least you know. And it is what it is. And that's the kind of thing where, again, like, that's why I love Jalen Hurts. I said we weren't going to talk about it a lot, but like his demeanor is what you need for Philadelphia. If you want Jalen Hurts to be more jovial, open, and present, then you need to tell Nick Sirianni to be more of an adult. Because I feel like the stark contrast between Nick Sirianni, all this stuff all the time, makes Jalen like, all right, bro, calm down. All right, coach, focus. Like, let's get it together. And so you can't have everybody running around with their shirt off, swinging around like a helicopter. Somebody has to be the adult, and that's Jalen. And that's the reason, like I said, I like McCain, because he is himself. He's being who he is. He's not going to stop, it seems like, and he's not going to let anybody intimidate him. And that's the kind of confidence you need to grow in Philadelphia, because you will get booed, you will get jeered, but you will also be lifted up on the shoulders and carried about the city if you do and fight for what we want and what we believe that you should do. Right? So I like the pick. I don't know anything really about the Bona kid. He's 6'8". not crazy. I don't know. That's just a pick where I'm like, if they see something, we're gonna see, because they have done well with draft picks. As much as I hate Morey, I will say his regime has done well with younger players, picking up younger guys and then having them be on the team as long as we keep them. And Nick Nurse is a developmental guy. You know what I mean? He got Flam Fleet paid. He got a lot of guys that we didn't know who they were. He got them rolling and got them going. So I do believe that he can help mold the team and guide the young guys and find them playing time and find them a role with the Sixers. So that is also positive, as though we don't have the rest of the team filled out yet. Anything on McCain? Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it really well with like that he knows himself, and that's the type of thing that will keep him steadfast when the adversity does come here. And it might transition, like, you know, just goofy, you know, Philly's hard-nosed, right, as a city, but we're also goofy and like to have fun. So if he's just like, I don't give a fuck, like, I'm shooting threes, I'm doing TikToks, like, we might be doing TikToks and doing Jordan McCain dances like halfway through the season. I think it's possible. I can see that sort of thing happening. And the thing about this draft in general is just that, like, I don't know how good any of these guys really are, I feel like, and that's kind of the question. So again, he could be somebody that comes to the league and he's 6'2" or whatever, but seems like, relative to his draft class, he is ready to hit big time shots. He's ready to take, you know, those shots in big moments. He's ready to be calm in, you know, stressful situations, anxious situations. That's what it looks like. But I don't know if that's going to be an NBA caliber version of that, like a Patty Mills or something, or it's going to be, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank here on his full name, but the Villanova guy, Scotty whatever, you know, from back in the day. We used to have some guards that were like All-American that never made it anywhere in the league. So I think ultimately that's the question. Is he going to be that, or is he going to be an NBA caliber player?
And that's the biggest thing I said about, like, the Bronny James 55th pick. Like, you never know who somebody's going to be. We thought Draymond Green was going to be Draymond Green where he got picked. Nobody thought the Joker was going to be what the Joker is, 3-time MVP in the second round. No one thought these things. So, again, I'm not going to say it about Brian James because he's not going to be those things. I'll say that. But you could be a role player. You could score your 2 points a year and then go get paid and then, again, be a legacy, and it's fine. But as far as the Sixers are concerned, I think that the youth movement, we don't even know what it's going to be. I watched this draft, and literally when they went and they did a little scroll walk by, if I put up the video, if I didn't get taken down, I'd be like, it's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Inside, it's fun inside. All those dudes look like they were 8 years old.
Oh, yeah.
They look like I could take them in a rec league. Like, they look like I could body them in a rec league. Like, all their faces just look so young. Everybody's one and done anymore, except for, you know, Connect 4. I just want to say Connect 3. I just wanted to say Connect 4. I want to have the number. I wanted all those things because it's fun.
He seems like a weirdo to me. That
like
guy.
AK-47. Like, there's certain things I like. The Caruso. I need a white boy in my life. On
AK-47. That's a good throwback there.
I need an AR-15. Like, I need a white boy and I need a nickname.
We had TJ.
What's that? PG-13.
PG-13.
They can't do 13.
No, he can't. Way off P.
Way off P. That's right there for us. Play off P or way off P. We'll figure it out.
So
real quick, I didn't get to go in the draft, right?
Yeah.
So McCain, right? He seems super likable, right? Maxey, super likable.
Yeah.
The past like couple of years, we had to watch Ben Simmons, who's an unlikable person. PJ Tucker, unlikable. Harden, unlikable, right?
Yeah.
Like, at least give us a team if they're not going to win it all day. It's like, man, I really like these guys. They're fun to watch. You know,
because Joel's fun. You're right.
Joel is fun.
Yeah.
Right?
We might have Jason. Okay, keep talking. Go ahead.
This is a nice show, boys. This is a nice show. There's some positivity here.
McCain, I don't like Duke guys, by the way.
No,
right?
I don't like Duke either.
Duke guys have failed, but the coach changed, and now like Lively was from Duke, and now it seems like these guys are starting to maybe produce a little bit more. This kid won in California as a high school player. He was really good at Duke and carried them, I believe, to the Elite Eight, I think. He scored 30 points multiple times. And he's the first guy the Sixers have drafted in a decade that can shoot before he got here. We don't have to worry about what if he learns how to shoot. That'd be awesome if he learns how to shoot.
And he gets the shot up quick too. You don't
Yes, he does. He's a legit shooter. He's a legit shooter.
I didn't watch a lot of college basketball. Either the Bonaire kid, it's like Paul Reed, but if he knew how to play basketball is what it sounds like. Better defender, right? Like that's what
sounds great. Sounds great.
They also signed the best undrafted kid from Kentucky. I just looked up Justin Edwards from Kentucky, who was everyone thought was going to go in the 50s. He was going to get drafted. He was like a top 10 recruit from the Philly area.
Bronny took a spot.
He might have, right? But but you know, it's another guy who knows if he's going to end up being good. You never know, right? We don't know if these guys are going to be
good. Those are good points.
Maybe at least they're fun to watch for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that. With Joel Embiid at the top of the helm and his XXX suck it, And we
That's
got
still
McCain
fun, man. That's just so fun.
And McCain out there doing TikTok,
Right.
and Max is just like, look at him doing the sex thing, and look at him doing the TikTok.
And we can laugh at PG. We can laugh at PG.
I can do TikToks too, I think.
Does he?
Not like McCain. Not like McCain.
Yeah, well, McCain's a wizard.
Oh, and also McCain can't dance. Let's.
He
keep
just
it
does
real.
TikTok dances. He just does all the TikTok
He
dances.
be doing these TikTok dances, and not only does he do them,
He can sing.
he be doing he
Little bit.
I'm singing and stunning.
I know, my God, bro. I was gonna say this, dude. I don't hate him for being himself, but I hate this. I hate that he just does that bullshit and that he gets money off of that. I hate that. I hate that exists.
Like that. I will tell you, there's something too. We're going down and early around, and sugar, we're going down, swinging.
Don't appropriate my culture. Don't appropriate my culture.
I was like, oh, you're like, you're full of, yeah. I'm like, say it ain't so. You know.
Oh, we bringing all that shit back?
I'm just saying, when a black person does white stuff, white people just be happy, boy. They like,
Oh my God.
God, you know Weezer?
We're like, I feel seen.
He knows who Nirvana is. He knows.
You're talking about white women. I don't know. I don't know any white men.
About his white women. I apologize.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. You said white people.
White people are run by white women. I ain't worried about
Yeah.
it. I'm not getting Kate to love me out here, okay? You know what I'm saying?
She said-
I'm not getting Kate to love me.
Yeah, leave our emotion alone. Exactly. Kate, come on now. You're using it for the clout. That's what you're using it for.
This is the last time I'm laughing
Seen her. That's good.
for the show, so it is what it is. So
We are everywhere and on point.
Yes.
so the show's been going on for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a Tuesday night. What's the score to Phillies game? Anybody know?
6-1. Phillies.
6-1 Phillies. Okay. The
Top of
Phillies-
the eighth.
The Phillies are winning. And raise your hand if you're allowed to go to watch a game at Citizens Bank Park for the rest of the season. Harry, can you go?
Why can't I go?
I don't know. You were
can
like
go.
hesitant.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
worried for a second.
Yeah,
Like, wait,
yeah,
did we
yeah.
just do
So
something bad?
we can all go to Citizens Bank Park. None of us have been banned from that. So I mean, it's just journalism. I didn't write the article. I didn't do the report. Howard Eskin, the dope, the genius, the dummy, the idiot, all the classic things that he loves to call people, has been banned from Citizens Bank Park. I don't know if it's indefinitely.
Rest of the season.
Rest of the season. So for the rest of the season, he's been banned for harassment and inappropriate contact with an employee of Amtrak.
It's
And
an unwanted advance.
unwanted advance. And it's just like, really? You're an old man, bro.
Yeah.
You got a job to do. And not only that, like, not for nothing. If you want to go and put an advance on somebody and you're at the bar and you're drunk and you made a mistake, cool. You're on your job.
Mhm.
You're doing your job. You've got access to places that normal people that don't have. You shouldn't even be where you are.
Right.
You're not a paying customer. You're using media access to access places and then force yourself upon people or force yourself in situations with the power that you have from your job.
Yeah.
That's creepy. My favorite comment was, he got a weird case. Why is he?
What?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Fuck him up. I mean, for a guy whose son is all about accountability, the radio station has released a comment saying that they've talked to him about it, but they're not taking him off the air.
Right.
He's still going to do his job. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like some sort of small suspension would warrant it. You have women that work at that organization, a lot of lovely women, a lot of women who would find this offensive, and I assume find it offensive. And as a male journalist, sports host, whatever it is, they have daughters. I got a daughter. I'm offended by it. At some point, you got to take responsibility for your mistakes and your action. And to come on and to spout the general hate that he does, I'm a negative dude. I'm a Negadelphian. I am Captain Negative. Like, as much as I stuck up for Joe, like, I'm positive too. I'm a very realistic fan, but I do speak a lot of negativity. So in doing so, if you don't have balance and then you do something like that, well, how is somebody supposed to be positive towards you? How is somebody going to support you? If you don't have a history of being positive, upbeat, and supportive, and you've ripped athletes apart to shreds for mistakes that athletes have made about conversations. Oh, he's got to get out of town. He's a bad teammate because he didn't like McNabb. What? T.O. needs to be in a coffin. He needs to die. What? Like, your history of vitriol that you spit against players who play a game and do their job. And for you to do something like this, and if for this to be your second major incident with a female, I'm not even going to mention the other one because that's
Tragic.
very
Yeah,
tragic.
very
And I'm
tragic.
not going to make a joke about that because it's very upsetting. You can look that up for yourself. But this isn't your first rodeo in this kind of arena, and that's not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to be. So as far as accountability is concerned, it seems like they don't have any. He won't have any. And that's just embarrassing and bad. I'm glad the Citizens Bank Park made some kind of accountability stand and said, we're going to protect our employees and protect our women. And again, as a father to a daughter, I would expect at the bare minimum is what I would expect. So
Well said.
hopefully somebody over there has a little bit more accountability towards that. And with that, I will say this. Harry, I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that all of your
Yes.
dreams are true.
That's all I wanted to hear. Just hope that you're wrong. There you
True,
go.
Harry. I will sit right here and for 32 minutes straight, Harry,
32.
I will rip myself to shreds. I'll practice out. Fat, gritty, you dumb, greasy, big mouth having, nose breathing.
I want to hear more about you being wrong, but yes, that's fine. That's cool.
I'm right so much. It's
Yes,
just
I understand.
no problem. I hope that I'm wrong, Harry.
Right,
You know
right.
what phrase I hope you say?
What?
Paul George, thanks for choosing me.
Oh, my Lord.
Harry's like, oh, man. Oh shit. You know what?
Right.
You know what? If we even get to the finals,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the shirt I wear every week for the show.
Like,
I'll get a Paul George thanks for choosing me shirt. I will rock that bitch. That'll be my punishment. Oh, that's a good pull there, Jason. Asshole.
I listen.
Oh,
right?
that's some grimy shit, boy. I tried to put myself on Front Street. You gonna just use my words again, Bryce. Thank you for choosing me. I love you so much, always
better.
and forever. Follow us on the YouTube, subscribe on the iTunes, the Amazons, the iHeartRadio. We're on all the places now. I done got myself together.
Oh, hey.
So go ahead and subscribe somewhere. Tell a friend and tell a friend. If you got somebody that you don't like, send them the podcast and make them suffer the way that you 220 people have suffered watching us live, the way you listeners suffer on Spotify. Make somebody else feel this pain. And if you know somebody from New York, definitely clip the part where I said, fuck the Knickerbockers, fuck them, no lube, fuck them.
Oh.
Just send it to them. That's right. If you made it this far, you already know that we've been crazy. I'm sorry and I apologize. I will lay off the Red Bulls and the crack cocaines. I've allowed Harry to come back with his positivity. So I kind of balanced it out a little bit today.
Unless they sponsor us.
So
then we're back on
if
the
you
Rebels.
sponsor us, oh shit, we are not getting a sponsor. I apologize. I might have to go through and bleep out this whole dang up episode and put a whole bloop across. We hope the 76ers do well. All right. Again, follow us on the internet. We're out there. Appreciate you guys for watching. Have a great night. Say goodbye, guys.
Later.
Peace.